I don't think you realize how gigantic Samsung's biggest TV is. Even if you think you know, I think you might be significantly underestimating it. I think that because I got a lot of comments on my last video, which was Apple versus Samsung's most expensive consumer product. What about Samsung's The Wall? It's like $200,000. But that's the thing. It's not $200,000. It's much, much more than that, but I think I know why people think it's $200,000. On Samsung's The Wall webpage, which is on their business website, not their consumer website, the biggest and most expensive version of the wall that they show is 146 inches, and it has a price of $220,000. However, that's not the biggest size of the wall that they offer, not by a long shot. That's just the biggest size that they show directly on their website with a price. If you scroll down just a little bit further and download the brochure, they show all of the sizes they offer. That includes the 110 inch and the 146 inch that they have on their website, but it also includes the 219 inch and the 292 inch and the 437 inch and the 583 inch. That one's 24 feet tall. It's bigger than some two-story buildings. But here's the catch. Samsung doesn't show the price for those 4 bigger sizes anywhere on the internet as far as I could find. Fear not though, because I, Listman Guy, found a secret way to figure out how much these gigantic displays cost using a little known trick called math. You see, Samsung's The Wall, all the different sizes, are never just one solid display. They're always multiple smaller micro LED display cabinets placed directly beside one another to form what appears to be one solid display. And those cabinets only come in one size. They're about 32 inches by 18 inches. They just use more cabinets for the bigger displays. We can use math to figure out exactly how many cabinets each size uses. And in that same brochure, Samsung included the exact model number for the cabinets used for each of the sizes of the wall. So all I had to do was Google the model numbers, find the prices, and then multiply the number of cabinets for each one by the prices I found. So these are Samsung's The Wall from smallest to largest, from least expensive to most expensive. Get ready for these crazy prices. Starting off with the 110 inch, we actually have the price for this one online, so let's see how close our calculated price comes to see if the method works. The 110 inch is 3 cabinets wide by 3 cabinets tall for a total of 9 cabinets. I'll use the correct cabinet model for each of the sizes, but I'll use the average price I found of that correct model. With that, my calculated price for this one is $66,505, and that's pretty close to the $70,000 on the website. Next is the 146 inch model. It's 4 cabinets wide by 4 cabinets tall. That's 16 total cabinets, and it actually comes in 2 resolutions, 2K and 4K, that use 2 different cabinet models. My calculated price for the 2K version is $83,762. Now, that's a little lower than the $92,000 on the website, but it's still in the ballpark. But my calculated price for the 4K model is $221,600, and that is very close to the $220,000 price on the website. So I feel pretty good about this. How high do you think these prices will go? Next is the 219 inch model. That's 6 cabinets wide by 6 cabinets tall, 36 cabinets total. Calculated price $266,000. Now, I know that doesn't seem like much more than the last one, but that's because it uses the lowest resolution cabinets versus the last one, which used the highest resolution cabinets. But either way, trust me, it gets way higher from here. Next is the 292 inch model. That's 8 cabinets wide by 8 cabinets tall, 64 total cabinets, and this is where the price really jumps because it comes in 2 resolutions, the 4K and the 8K. The 4K model uses the lowest resolution cabinets, so it has a calculated price of just over $335,000. But the 8K model uses the highest resolution cabinets, which are almost 3 times more expensive per cabinet. So it has a calculated price of just over $886,000. And remember, we still have 2 more bigger sizes to go. And that brings us to the penultimate size, 437 inches. That's 12 cabinets wide by 12 cabinets tall, 144 cabinets total. It actually uses the middle resolution cabinets, and its calculated price comes to just over $1,064,000. But that finally brings us to the number 1 size, the 583 inch Samsung The Wall. It's 16 cabinets wide by 16 cabinets tall. That's 256. The estimated price for this giant 583 inch display is just over $1,340,000. However, I think they can actually make one that is way bigger than that. What's stopping Samsung from going one size even higher, 24 by 24 cabinets? That would be 875 inches diagonal screen and an estimated price of $4.2 million. I don't know what's stopping them, and I will never ask because we just need to see how far we can take this. This is going to get out of hand very quickly. Let's see how long it takes to create a Samsung The the wall that breaks the universe. If we go up only 13 more sizes, we'll have a screen that's over a mile in diagonal. That's the power of exponential growth. That's right, Samsung's The Wall size number 20 would be 2,048 cabinets wide by 2,048 cabinets tall. That's almost 4.2 million cabinets, not dollars, cabinets. That brings the estimated price for this number 20 mile-sized screen to $58 billion, though I imagine you could negotiate that price down since you're buying in bulk. But we can go bigger. If we go up only 16 more sizes to size 36, the diagonal is roughly the size of the state of Pennsylvania. I cannot be the first person to realize that Pennsylvania has almost the exact 16:9 aspect ratio as a modern widescreen TV, can I? But this Samsung The Wall size number 36 has a 301.4 mile diagonal. That's a little smaller than Pennsylvania. It's 524,000 cabinets tall by 524,000 cabinets wide. That's 274.9 billion total cabinets. And it has a calculated estimated price of $3.8 quadrillion. I'm going to switch over to measuring the price in multiples of the entire world's GDP from last year. So that's 33.1 world 2025 GDPs. But we can go bigger. I'm Listman Guy, by the way. If you decide to follow me, you'd make all of my wildest dreams come true. But back to an even bigger screen, just 23 sizes higher than that, only size number 59, and the screen diagonal is now bigger than the diameter of the sun. 936,000 miles diagonal screen.
And the diameter of the sun is 870,000 miles, which makes it 109 times wider than the Earth.
Shut up about the sun! Shut up about the sun!
But we can go all the way bigger. At only size 105, that's all it takes, we're over a light year in screen diagonal and over 11 billion trillion world GDPs in estimated price. And only 73 sizes more than that, size 178, we're at a screen diagonal that is bigger than the diameter of the observable universe. That's a 121 billion light year screen diagonal, while the observable universe is only 93 billion light years. And the estimated price on this one is meaningless at this point, but check this out. Microsoft Excel only stores 15 digits of precision. So the value in the cell for this one is 212243736179992, and then 44 zeros after that, dollars. So Samsung, I gotta ask, when are we gonna see The Wall in universe size? I'll see you in the next list.